what Loretta Mester and James Bullard, true they're not voting members, but what they have said about going 50 basis points, could that be a view that is reflected amongst those in the committee when we see those minutes, and could the market take fright as a result?
Short answer is yes to all of those questions. I think 50 basis points is certainly on the table given the PPI, CPI numbers, as well as the incredible jobs report. So I think it is absolutely possible, but I think the market is already starting to price in a slowdown and increase. Is 50 basis points a slowdown? I suppose, compared to 75 basis points. But I think the market's already sort of baking in that we're going to get to a point where interest rates are not going to be hiked as much in the future. Maybe not this next cycle, but the one after that.
So talking about a slowdown, Michael, you're expecting China's reopening and recovery to slow down. Is that right? Why?
Yeah, well, because I think that China, I realize that they're starting to loosen up some of the restrictions on technology as well as for-profit schools. But I think China is really pivoting less towards just financial perspective, kind of the Hong Kong perspective, to a more nationalistic perspective. And I think that while GDP growth is important to keep the population happy, I think you're going to see them continue to move toward the sort of consumption economy. And I still think you're going to see a holdover from what's happened in COVID. Obviously, China is just now kind of getting through their peak problems with COVID, but I think that's going to be around for a while.
Michael, let's talk about earnings, and we're rounding off with the major retailers this week, Walmart and Home Depot this week. I know you have mentioned Costco, which expects to see international expansion opportunities. How do we approach these names on a sector level, given the resiliency of the US consumer so far? And is there a limit to these names' pricing power?
There is a limit, but I think what you're going to start to see, Sri, is you're going to start to see kind of a barbell approach in terms of retail names. You're going to have the high-end luxury names that are still going to be in demand, and you're going to have the names that sell goods and services for cheaper prices when times are tougher. It's the people in the middle, the retailers in the middle, that are going to really have a problem. People have to buy cereal, or they have to eat anyway. They have to buy gas. They have to pay for their energy bills. So I still think you are going to see the consumer provide some support for the economy. But it's the retailers in the middle that are selling not super luxury items, but not discount items. I think those are the retailers that are going to be challenged.